Welcome to the Industry Angel Podcast. We hear from the best business minds across the globe. Entrepreneurs, social influencers, marketing mavens, and sales rock stars. We've got them all. Here comes your weekly dose of inspiration with your host, Ian Farah.
Right, Merry Apprenticeship Week.
Happy Apprenticeship Week, Merry Apprenticeship Week from Mischa.
A former apprentice.
Oh yeah, I'm not even an apprentice.
I know, yeah. Mischa's just had a photograph taken for Apprenticeship Week, of which you're not an apprentice. And he kept referring to you as the apprentice.
I know. I was like, I'm not the apprentice.
I'm not
anymore.
Nah.
Time's done.
Right, so we're recording this about apprenticeships.
Yeah, we are.
First time you've been on the podcast.
Yeah, it is.
First time?
Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously you get mentioned on the podcast every week because you're great at editing it.
Yeah.
So...
You've just done what I do.
So you see, I've caught a few already.
Yeah.
So we want to encourage businesses to take apprentices. Why should we do that? Just throw you straight in the deep end there, like.
Jeezies, I don't know.
Jeezies.
I don't know. Why should businesses have apprentices? Mm-hmm. It just gives younger people the opportunity to get into the industry that they want to be in, and it gives them real experience. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's funny, you know, like back when I was a boy, they had youth trainee schemes, YT schemes, and then apprentices. And then apprentices weren't the new thing. It was graduates, and then graduates weren't the new thing. And it's almost come back full circle again with apprentices. Where was I going with this?
Interns, apprentices? I don't know.
No, but actually we've got an intern as well.
Yeah.
We've got an intern in the business. And
another apprenticeship.
We've got
apprentice.
We've got another apprentice because you worked so well. So it was rinse and repeat, bring you in. But it is good because... yes, it gives young people the chance to experience, like the real world. Where I'm going with this is, right, say Baz, who's joined us as an apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
Intern, thank you. Wow, I'm obsessed with apprentices. You know, school, A-levels, degree, you pop out of university, right? I spoke to a lad the day, he said his net worth was minus 40 grand. Because obviously he's been to university.
God, yeah.
So he's got a big chunk of debt. Whereas with apprentices, I mean, look what you're doing now.
Yeah.
You've come out of your apprenticeship and now you're going to go into another apprenticeship, but a degree apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Which is what, like 90% funded or something?
95.
95.
Yeah.
So us as a business, we don't need to outlay too much for you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you'd gone from the school route, maybe you might be saddled with a load of debt or something.
Yeah, 100%. I think the government funds 95 and then Far North will fund the rest.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it is good. And so usually apprenticeships start at like a level 3. And I think I'm going on to do a level 4, 5 and 6.
Yeah.
I think.
Wow.
It's across 3 year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like...
Mm-hmm. So, but you're learning a qualification. You're learning a Wow, I think I need to go back to school.
Getting a qualification?
You're getting, well, let's just use getting. You're getting the qualification whilst you also learn on the job though.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to say this to my pals, because I went to work straight away and they were at university getting degrees, I was almost like 3 years ahead of them from a work point of view.
Yeah, definitely.
So when you're sitting in front of a potential employer and they're interviewing you, you've got stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, look at what we do in Far North. Look how many hats we see you wear. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, you come into a small business like this and you've just like, name what you are, what you've done. So you come in as business admin.
Yeah, so the apprenticeship title was business admin, and then I think straight away I started doing like graphic design, SEO, website development, social media management, content creation, media production,
podcast
editing, project management, some finance, some admin, literally like everything.
Well, you say some finance, so basically you have all the company's finances.
Yeah.
So you know exactly what the ingoings and outgoings are. Mm-hmm. You look after me, so from like it's almost like a PA point of view.
Yeah.
You shield my diary, you take calls, you make sure I'm not touched. Really, it's great. Mm-hmm. So you make sure I'm shielded from all client stuff, and that was good because what do we say? Like you've got to milk me, like just shove me like a cow and milk me through a work point of view.
Yeah.
So I need to be shielded. So you do all that. Mm-hmm. And then obviously we bring new people in and you're onboarding them. You just do like policies and everything. So my point being, when you join a small business as an apprentice, you haven't just been that one thing. You've just done so much stuff.
Yeah.
But that's also kudos to you because you've you put your cap in the ring and said, no, I'll do that. Like your mindset's always been, I'll try that.
Mm-hmm.
And you just get on and do it. And you do it like 9 out of 10. There's always room for improvement, right? That's been fabulous from an employee's point of view, because I always say, like I did a press release the other day about you because it's Apprenticeship Week and people wanted to know, your story.
Mm-hmm.
I always say that you hit the ground running, like on week 3. It's probably earlier than that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But certainly by week 3, and I thought it's going to take a time, proportion of my time to train you, to, shadow me with what I do. But literally straight away, you're just doing it.
Yeah.
I was stunned, to be honest. And that then helped us take more apprentices and, have a similar vision.
Yeah.
From an employer's point of view, you think it's going to take a bunch of time, and it's actually a lot less time.
Yeah.
So you were the catalyst to growth for this company, because you let me then be more client-facing and bring more revenue in.
Yeah, I think if someone wants to work in that industry and they've got into the apprenticeship, they'll just kind of put their all into it and be eager to learn. But that's what I was like.
Yeah.
Like I knew I wanted to do digital marketing for like years. It's like 5 years ago now when I decided like, oh no, this is what I'm good at. This is what I want to do. So I think it is a really good opportunity, because I could have went on to do a digital marketing degree, but I wouldn't have any experience in digital marketing. Like I would know about it, but I wouldn't be in client meetings and actually like creating websites and like doing SEO and stuff like that.
But isn't it really funny? Can you remember when the phone would ring? Yeah. And you would say, hello, Mischa speaking. Hello, Far North, Mischa speaking. The quickest you've ever said it. And you always say that was because you worked in retail before that.
Yeah.
But it was a confidence thing as well. Do you know what I mean? You never shied away from doing it, but I think it was also like almost like, who's this? Where now you're super confident. I mean, we've just had a photo shoot there with a local council and stuff. You're like, that takes time. You can't buy that. You just have to like work through it. Yeah. So like 18 months, 2 years down the line, you're fine in them spaces.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Whereas maybe someone in university, although they're exposed to lots of things and classrooms and lots of students and nightlife, social things, sport and events and stuff, you kind of beat work experience, though, can you?
Yeah, no, definitely not.
So from an employer's point of view, you didn't take as much time as I thought. What about from your point of view? Did you think were you nervous when you first started then?
A little bit, but I think in the circumstances when I started, it was like the full-on pandemic and we'd just come out of lockdown, and I'd just went back to working in retail, and I was like, right, retail's not what I want to do. I need to find something that I actually do want to do. And then obviously everything fell into place, but I think I was more nervous about coming in after the full lockdown and stuff, but I was just ready to take the next step because I'd just finished my A-levels. And I was like, I need to do something that I want to do.
Because we always tell the story about we'd never met.
Yeah.
We just met online, hadn't we?
Yeah.
Zooming or something, or Teams or whatever it was. And it was, I don't know, but we're, I mean, God, I'm going to go a bit woo here. I'm going to start hugging a bit trees, but we are quite spiritual that way. And we do go with our guts quite a lot, and we are quite intuitive. I just felt like connection straight away, oh yeah, she looks good. And I remember people going, we've never even met her, you know what I mean? Do you not think you're taking a risk? And it didn't feel like a risk for me. I just thought, nah, it feels right. And of course it was, and 2 years later you're just flying. So it must have been nervous, because I remember seeing you at the door the first day. And I was like,
oh my God,
was that you or not? You know what I mean? Because I didn't even know how tall you were or anything. It's that must be her.
I know.
A bit orcs. And obviously it was small business as well. So that was when we were really small. And obviously we've grew, and we're moving offices tomorrow.
Yeah. So exciting.
It is exciting. And, I won't not say that you've been the catalyst, that you've helped that growth. You've helped me, you know what I mean? Because it is a lonely journey. Yeah. You've been someone to bounce ideas off and that sort of stuff. And obviously you're a generation younger than me, or maybe two.
I think I am too, but it's fine. We'll let it slide.
But you've got a different mindset, and you've also got that, I've got a load of baggage from a business point of view. So that'll never work. There's no money in that. Oh, I've tried that way. You just you've got a fresh mind. And if you've noticed, I don't stop you with any ideas. Yeah. If you think it's going to roll, I'll let you roll with it. Yeah, and 9 times out of 10, it bloody works. Whereas I might not have done that. Yeah. Because I might have experienced it before and it not work. So that's what's really interesting about this as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So then, what would you encourage any young people listening to this? Because you're doing, I was going to say we're, not me, you're doing a thing on Monday night for the council, which is Ask the Apprentice.
Yeah.
So parents are going to sort of watch that social stream and then potentially ask you questions about your journey.
Yeah.
Because it's good that parents are clearly bothered about what the children done and invested. But the reason I hesitated then is because back when I left school, my parents, they weren't as hands-on as parents are right now. They just kind of let you get on with it.
Yeah.
Whereas parents now, we didn't obviously have social media back then. It wasn't even an internet, man. You know, parents now are much more invested. And you're doing something special on Monday. You're giving parents the chance to ask you questions about apprenticeships, which will help them help their children into the next stage of their. So, what do you think that's going to go like? Are you looking forward to it? What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, definitely. I think at the moment, a lot of parents kind of want the kids to go to uni. And that's more of like a preferred option.
Why?
I don't know. It's just the element of having a degree. I honestly don't really know, but I found that a lot of my friends have went straight to uni, and it's kind of because the parents went to uni, or none of the family went to uni and they wanted to be like the first one. But it's interesting because I was never really interested in going to uni until it was like the opportunity to do a degree apprenticeship, because I was like, well, it makes more sense really.
That's interesting. So do you think on Monday you're going to be speaking to parents who potentially have let Susie, should we call her Susie?
Susie,
it's always Susie, isn't it?
Susie.
Susie's going to go to university, but actually you're there, they're asking you questions, and actually you might help convert them to apprenticeships. That could be pretty cool then.
Yeah, definitely.
Can you remember me telling you the story where I did a talk at school? And there were A-level students, and it was like a sixth form talk. And I told them how great apprenticeships were. And remember one guy had quit his sixth form and got an apprenticeship the next week, and then told me that he'd quit because of the talk that I gave.
Yeah.
sorry, St. Wilfrid's, if you're listening. Because they're obviously, tasked to get bums on seats to take people through A-levels.
Yeah, definitely. But it's the same with college as well. All throughout college, I'd be like sat in personal development, and these be like, write your personal statement, apply for uni, and I'd be like, well, I don't want to go to uni, and it would be like,
Was it really?
It was like a shock. They were like, why don't you want to go to uni? Like, and because of that, like, I nearly dropped out A-levels. It's not that I needed my A-levels really, but it was good to kind of do something really. But like, it was so like pushed on you that you should go to uni, and I was like, well, there's other options. And I remember my tutor said, oh, well, apprenticeships are just cheap labour, and I was like,
really?
No, it's not. I was like, if there's nothing real that you can get stuck in with, then people could see it as cheap labour. But like,
I suppose if you worked in a factory, it's like press that button, turn that handle.
That's what I mean.
Like you sort of churning stuff out. But I suppose you get out what you put in as well. And
100%.
That's also from an employer's point of view as well. If I hadn't asked you to do various things or exposed you to different tasks, then you it's funny, it's a bit like a control thing. I remember like handing things over to you, like the podcast, for instance, right? You edit every single episode of the podcast, and I'll listen to the first one or two, and after that I've never listened to them. Well, I have listened to them again, but not with an editing head on. Yeah. Because like I would always take like ums and ahs, or we might pause for a second. The audience don't want to hear that. Really doesn't offer any value. So
Mischa might swear.
You might swear. Do you want to swear again?
No.
Pressure's on. but you picked up on that straight away, and that was tough for me from a control point of view, like handing over what does it wrong, and you just have to hand it over. And if you do it wrong, then there's just a bit retraining, I guess. But that was really interesting for me because I am a bit of a control freak, but that's totally stopped since you came in. You've helped me with that. Yeah. I'm actually probably more the other way now. I sort of like just leave you to it, don't I? And you're like, can you just help? Go on, you sort of. I know. But that's the trust I've got in you, and that's the trust that you provided. I don't know where I was going with that either. But it's not cheap labour, because you know what I mean. We're both getting something out of it. Yeah. And I guess it's a test from an employer point of view. Like I'm kind of taking you through it. It's like the Jedi thing. It's Star Wars, isn't it?
I've never seen Star Wars.
You're joking. No. You've never seen Star Wars? Well, you know who Luke Skywalker is, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But you don't know anything about him. So you've got to be a Jedi apprentice before you can be a fully fledged Jedi. So Yoda trained him up. So you went to see Yoda.
So you're Yoda.
I'll take that. Yeah, I'm as old as Yoda. I feel as
no, that's so dramatic.
Well, Yoda's 836, I think.
I don't think you're that old.
I'm nearly that old. But it's just like that going through. You have to go through your time. I think everybody should go through a bit of an apprentice, or a training.
Yeah, it's just stages as well.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
I went and could do my level. That's exactly what I mentioned earlier on. Where it's like level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just, it gives you like a vision, and like, from my point of view, it's like a vision and a goal, a progression. That's
really interesting. That's like a human thing, you know, like giving you something to aim for. It's almost like what we talk about when we have our meetings about putting KPIs and targets down.
Yeah.
Who was it? Lord Kelvin said something about measurement. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it or something. Have I just totally?
Oh no, I know what you mean.
Probably even wasn't Lord Kelvin.
If you don't measure it, you don't manage it.
I don't know.
Something like
One
that.
of them business things.
Yeah.
We need a business coach, right?
Yeah.
Someone knows what to talk about.
Probably.
But it's like that way you're setting targets and stuff. So you like you just said there, you've gone through 3, 4, 5, and on 6, on 7 levels. So yeah. Whereas I feel a bit rubbish now because I've got nothing to aim for. Rubbish, isn't it?
Well, you can just aim for mine.
Right. No, actually, do you know what it is as well? That is quite funny because we do have a relationship where I get really excited about seeing you progress. It's dead funny. It's just class. And I love to hear you. I've said this a few times. When you say things that we've spoke about, you regurgitate my silly phrases and stuff. I'm like, get in. Yeah. And that just comes with time. In mind, I do your daft phrases as well. But you know, that is really rewarding from an employee's point of view to actually have given something back and nurture someone through. It's almost like that mentee-mentor thing, isn't it? You know, like I'm your mentor, and even as a mentor, I should have a mentor. And I've always had a mentor, actually, but I have a couple of informal ones, maybe Tony Robinson.
Yeah,
you know,
I love Tony.
OB. Yeah. You know, I'll really look up to Tony and I'll watch him. And Tony often says that he has a mentor as well, and Tony's 70. So that should never end, really, that constant sort of striving for pushing on. And you've got that, but that's for me to nurture and to make sure you've got that platform to be able to do that. So going back to your cheap labour thing, maybe some companies don't have that platform for people to grow.
Progress, because I know some apprenticeships, very rarely, I've not really heard of it, where they get an apprenticeship in and then it's like after your 12, 18 months, that's it, bye. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But I've never really heard about that. Like, I've never heard it.
I don't know, maybe in some industries it might be more applicable, but we've always said, like, when we bring somebody in, we want them to join the ranks of the business. That's just the natural progression. Yeah. I guess maybe there's no right or wrong. If someone's been in for 18 months, we've got a good 18 months out of them. They've got a good 18 months experience. And if it wasn't working or there wasn't a space for them or a project had ended, then you part ways. Yeah. But it's been still win-win, I guess.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely.
Yeah, that's a good point. What other value could we offer people who are thinking about apprenticeships? What's the process? So you do modules and assessments or something?
Yeah, so I had a bunch of different modules that were all totally relevant to what we'd done, or what I'd done at Far North. So there was like modules on website development, just all sorts. Everything was just relevant to what we'd done. And then you'd kind of have a little training hour or two, and then you just write an assessment on it, and there was a bunch of questions, and you just literally answer the questions, put screenshots in. It was dead easy, so like simple, and the apprenticeship provider was so helpful with like anything. So if I didn't know anything, we could literally just email and she'd give us a hand.
Do you want to give her a shout out?
Wendy, love you, Wendy. Miss you so much.
From
MTC.
MTC in Sunderland.
Yeah.
A part of University of Sunderland, I think, as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's interesting from an employee's point of view. Is yes, you might train an apprentice up, but also they'll be getting trained from the apprenticeship provider and given knowledge, which then you can push into the business. Yeah. So the business is kind of learning as well from the apprentice. Mm-hmm. It's not just that way, is it?
Yeah. We had regular like meetings between the three of us. So there was me, Ian and Wendy, and would all kind of decide which module I should focus on that month. So if there was a website project coming up, we'd be like, all right, okay, I think it's time to give us the website assessment sort of thing. So everything went really smoothly. So I was never given a module that was like irrelevant and that I just had to do for the sake of it. Everything was in line.
Well, could you not pick relevant modules at the start?
Yeah,
I'm sure you did
we
that,
did.
Didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. It's funny, you know, like you've done stuff that you probably wouldn't have thought you were doing, like of podcast editing. Yeah. You know, or even like event. Man, I mean, we're going to put an event on it, a secret event that no one knows about yet. Top secret. Yeah. You can get involved in so much stuff working for a small business. Yeah. And I suppose it must be rewarding for you to know that what you've done. Like you go home and show your mum a website that you developed.
I know, yeah.
You know, so it must be dead rewarding thinking of all the things you've done, and it's crazy, you know. Like it's crazy what you've done. Yeah. In this last 18 months is ridiculous.
It's so bad. Well, not bad, but it's like, it is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much.
So what else then? So should we call him Tommy? Because we had Susie. Tommy's thinking about doing an apprenticeship.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can go to university. Or no, you can go and do A-levels. Is that about right?
Depends on the age,
well, you can
really.
doesn't, like, age is irrelevant now from an apprenticeship point of view, isn't it?
I was 18 when I started with you.
I think so.
Yeah, I was 18, so I just finished my A-levels. But I didn't need my A-levels, I just...
Do you know what it is that you say you didn't need your A-levels? I like that, though, when I interviewed you. There was a couple of things that stuck out for us. One was your driving licence. Right?
Yeah.
I know that sounds mad, but like, because you're from Sunderland way, and we're in Shields.
Yeah.
How many miles? It's not that far, right?
Don't ask me about
7
miles.
8 miles.
It's like a 20-minute drive.
20-minute drive. But like the fact you could drive was good, and the fact you done the A-levels was good. That told me a couple of things. One, that you can learn at a higher level. You'd committed to doing something and you achieved it. And also you'd done subjects that were relevant to the job, and you'd
true.
And you'd hit a level that was good.
It was good.
I know.
Even though I didn't sit the exams.
Oh, did you? Oh, right,
no, it was because of COVID and lockdown, so I just got given my grades, and I was like, oh well, I'll take that.
I'll take that.
I was like, cheers.
But no, that was good. That kind of, I don't know, that gave me a bit of a warmer feeling. Like, that give us a bit.
I know. Well, I suppose like college, it's like a choice. You don't have to go to college. I don't think you do, anyways.
What?
No, you don't have to go to college when you leave.
You're doing as you want.
No, I know, but like, so I could just finish school and then not do anything, or have you got to do something?
No, you don't have to do anything you want. You can just...
well, there you go. College was like a choice, and it's like doing something.
Yeah, no,
but
that's really interesting that you said that, and that might sound like a really obvious question to some people listening, but it's not to younger people who that's what you're going to help on Monday, because they're literally, I'm really glad you've raised that, right? That's what happens, and whole parents will take us on board. Kids, right, that don't know what's next.
Yeah.
Like, I leave school, what
I was the same.
What do I do?
I was like, what do I do now?
Yeah. You know, there's a choice. You do nothing. You might go traveling. You might get an apprenticeship. You might get a job. You might go and do A-levels. You know, there's lots of things you can do.
Yeah, there's so much.
But actually, sometimes, I know my nephew did this. When he finished, he just went to sixth form. And then he spent, 7 months at sixth form and then dropped out.
Yeah.
Because sixth form felt like the natural thing to do. And to be honest, he didn't know what to do himself. And because of maybe the guidance wasn't there from the schools, from his parents. I don't know what the reason was.
Yeah. I find it is very like expected. Say if I went to a school and the school had a sixth form, it would just be expected for me to go straight into sixth form within the same school. But I went on to, it was like sixth form but college.
Right.
So it was a sixth form in a college basically. So that was like, it was good because it was different and it broke us up from the school.
Yeah.
And allowed us to kind of grow and like do my own thing.
Well, grow is an interesting one, isn't it? Because like at school it's very like, regime structured for a reason.
Yeah.
But once you leave, that's it. You're an adult now. Like you kind of get out what you put in, like crack on.
Yeah.
So that's when you start thinking, oh, I've got to really start like upping my game here, or if I don't, I'm going to go down the pan. Whereas school sometimes, I mean, I certainly did. I just went through the motions. I was terrible at school.
Yeah.
I didn't miss school, but like I didn't sort of skive or play hooky. Is that a thing?
I don't know.
You don't even know what hooky is?
Hooky?
Hooky?
No.
Okay, but I didn't do it. I still attended, but I just didn't do much when I was there.
You was there, but not really there.
Yeah, I was there in my body, not mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, that I'm really glad you asked that, like, what do you do? Because that's what we need students to do, is ask the stupid questions, but we also need parents to understand that actually they might not know, and we're assuming as employers, as parents, as teachers, that they know what kids are going to do when they leave school.
I think college is straight from school. I think college is a good idea because it's like, say if I've just finished school and I want to do an apprenticeship in engineering, I've got no knowledge on engineering at all. But if I go to college for like a year or something, gain a bit of knowledge about engineering, then at least I've got, do you know what I mean? But I think there's also the option to go straight into the apprenticeship, but it might be harder to get the apprenticeship.
So I did that, right? I left straight away and went for an engineering company. But what we did was day release. So every single Wednesday of the week, I attended a college. Oh, yeah. And it was like almost like 2 days actually, because it was 9 o'clock through till about 8 o'clock at night. It was quite intensive. and we did like hands-on stuff. We did like technical drawing. We did all the science, the maths behind it all. I mean, I struggled because I'm not the brightest, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, so it's like a mixture.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
well, that's good.
It was 4 days.
That would be the best option.
Well, exactly. So when you're saying that, I don't know much about it. That's what the apprenticeship's for. Yours has been quite different, actually. Yours has more been on the job learning.
Yeah,
more as going to college. Whereas mine was every single day, week, 1 day of that was in college.
Yeah.
But that's where you've differed. You've sort of done on the job learning and then done assessments now and again.
Yeah.
So there's lots of different apprenticeships then, isn't there?
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought about mine actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is lots of different apprenticeships, which will have different formats and stuff. But that's the beauty. You don't have to have that year going to college and then go, right, I'll do that.
Yeah.
It's almost like everything's mixed in one. Do you know what I mean? For a couple of years, you're doing everything. You're earning, you're learning. Oh, that sounds good. You're earning, learning. What else can we throw in there? It's always the rule of 3. Something with an ing in the end. Enjoying. Should we throw that in?
That one's not very good.
You enjoyed your time with me.
No, but yeah, I obviously do. I obviously do, but like
Yeah,
that doesn't really learning, earning.
Enjoying. But yeah, you know, that has been, I think that's the beauty of an apprenticeship. You know, you're kind of learning on the job. And you're earning as well, you know.
Yeah, and you're just gaining so much experience.
What else? So, apprentices, good.
Yep.
I know.
Apprentice good, yes.
Apprentice good. It's like 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. George Orwell, Animal Farm? No? All right. So, yeah, so parents' point of view, apprentices' point of view, employers' point of view. It's Apprentice Week. You'll get involved and ask your apprentice.
Why did you want an apprentice?
That's a really good question. So because I was doing stuff with MTC before you came, I was doing a lot with them actually. Actually, my first year in business, I did a lot with them.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of coaching stuff I was doing on behalf of them. And they just reached out and said, "Do you not want an apprentice?" And I was like, And then they told us the benefits of an apprentice. And I thought, yeah, you know, let's keep an open mind. We'll do it like, and never look back.
I know.
So, yeah, that's a really good question. And maybe that's one for employers. Like, why would you not think about it? I mean, there's the Kickstart scheme that's out there. That seems to be really popular as well, but I think it's only for like 6 months or something, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
And I don't know if there's any qualifications attached to it or not, but I like the fact that you've done qualifications because you bring ideas, and a bit like Baz, our intern, you know, who's in his degree, he's coming with ideas that weren't in the business, and it's knowledge that I didn't have. And especially what we do, digital marketing. I mean, look at our meeting we've just had there. Everything is changing, like so rapidly in the marketing world. You know, the algorithms change and everything. So it's almost like when an apprentice joins a company, it's not as if they're going to be like really behind, because I'm behind. We're all behind.
Everyone's behind. Yeah.
It's new and it changes so much. It's not like, oh my God, it's so daunting. I don't know anything about marketing. Well, none of us do.
Yeah.
We know the principles behind marketing, but we don't know the new marketing techniques, if you like. So there's nothing to be scared of, is there?
I think everyone knows social media as well, and everyone's been on a website.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. No, that is a good point, actually. And, you know, daft things like, you know, TikTok, for instance.
Yeah, I was thinking TikTok.
You know, we laughed at it a couple of years ago, you know, but like actually now lots of companies are using TikTok to do videos, and you know, it's not as throttled back as some of the more well-known things like Facebook and stuff.
Yeah.
So you're right, you know, apprentices have grown up with the internet and we've grown up with social. They could probably bring that to the table and say, why don't we do videos on TikTok?
Yeah.
They'll come up with some great ideas that owner managers, if it's a small company, will not have, I'm sure. So yeah, you know, keep an open mind from all walks of this, you know, from employers and from apprentices.
Yeah.
Just say yes. Yeah,
yep.
I'm waffling.
Yep.
I'm waffling.
No,
I don't know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Right then, well, you know, that was quite nice because that's the first time I've got you on the podcast.
Yeah. After many months of trying.
Of editing, because you've edited.
No, I mean you trying to get us on the podcast.
Oh yeah, no, but you've edited all of these.
Yeah.
And it must be pretty weird because I always go, thanks to producer Mischa for doing it, and you're like, all right.
You're welcome. And say it now.
You can say it now, but it has been good to get you on, and I would like to get you in doing more of this because I really value your input, and especially from your point of view.
Yeah.
And I know you're doing that on Monday, that Ask Your Apprentice thing, which is great on social, but you should be doing live streams and all sorts.
What would I speak about on a live stream?
Right, I think we'll probably leave it there. Well, thanks very much for your time.
It's your time as well.
And
our time.
If anyone wants to reach out to you and ask about apprenticeships, they totally can. Can reach out, can't they?
Yeah, of course.
Industryangel.com, you'll find us.
Yeah.
You'll find us. No, now you've got to say, I'm Mischa Steele. I'm Mischa Steele. This is the Industry Angel. Thanks for listening.
I don't think I can. I can't. I physically can't do it.
Okay, then. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. I'm Mischa Steele. This is the Industry Angel, and thanks for listening.
Bye.